Randomizer. We're going to be featuring Rose City Saint, Shiner CCC, Amazing Toaster, and Unos. It's a kind of a cobbled together seed here. Short Grand Palace, 6 gems to place. 3 heart containers start with 6 max and no candles, so there's going to be some dark caves here. There's additional runners we're not going to be featured, that we're not featuring. I might bring up when they finish. We'll see how the night goes. Hope everyone is doing well and is looking forward to some good old Zelda 2 Randomizer. I'm Thierwolf, and I'll be commentating today and tracking, so that'll be fun. We're going to be getting started shortly. And I think the countdown has started. And then we'll just have to count for stream delay. And hey, oh hey, OPT lawyer, you got a track too? Good, need more eyes. There's a lot of players here and they'll probably be all grabbing stuff. All right, and off they go. Left or right outside of the palace, who knows? We got a town, if they can make it. And just some typical overworld exploration. Shiner finds a little dude. Toaster finds out that town is the backside of Saria. Can't do anything unless you know Bagoo or you have the fairy spell. We also find a palace. That's Palace 1. So Palace 1 is in the west. That's good to know. If they have some method of dealing with key doors, they could get an item, maybe kill the boss. Shiner's diving in. Rose City finds what I think is Parappa Cave. And Amazing Toaster has found an item cave. We'll see what item is in Medicine Cave. Rose City's right behind him. He's in there too. Enemies seem not overly dangerous. And off they go. We have in the cave a magic container. Well, you know, that's okay. And logic will account for having fairy in the water town, so if pass through Saria is needed, then yeah, you'll be able to get there. And Unos is going into Magic Container Cave, and he's going to find out, hey, guess what? It has a magic container. Shiner's just diving deep into P1. Getting some experience, at least. And Rose City Saint is kind of poking around in Death Mountain and finds Hammer Cave right off. And Toaster finds it as well. So we'll see if they can make their way through the Hammer Cave in the dark. Several rooms, but there's an item at the end of it. And Shiner does find a key in P1. Might be able to get the item, actually. Unos went through Parappa, and now is in Death Mountain. Finds Hammer Cave. That's 3 people in Dark Hammer Cave. Shiner finds the item in P1. It's the cross. Well, that is an item that exists in Zelda 2 Randomizer. Lets you see invisible enemies on the East Continent. Not really that thrilling. But it's P1, so maybe a lot of people will find it. Yeah, the cross isn't even on the tracker. I mean, it's not needed. It helps, I guess, a little bit, but it's an item that exists. Rose City is nearing that item in that Dark Hammer Cave. And it is a P-Bag. That is your reward for going through all those rooms in the dark. Well, you know, 500-point P-Bag isn't bad. It gets attack 3, and that's okay. We'll see if the others, Toaster and Unos, are able to get there and get that 500-point P-Bag. Be able to boost their attack up like Rose City did. Shiner is just beating down that bubble. Now in the base game at attack 1, they have 255 HP, so you have to hit them that many times. Not sure how many times you have to hit them with attack 2 and Randomizer though. It's all kind of randomized. Gets experience. And says, oh, a P-Bag. Yay. Shiner's going to leave P1 and place the gem later at some point, find the boss, probably come back with the key. Also going through Parappa Cave. Oh, a red Dyra for Rose City Saint. In a swamp. That's not a fun combat. But he's going for it. See if they're worth killing. Seen worse. And Shiner has found Dark Hammer Cave as well. So everyone kind of poked in their little heads in and found that Hammer Cave immediately. And Toaster takes a death. Back to start. Rose City finds a P-Bag on a forest tile. Unos has found Bagoo. Unos knows Bagoo. So he'll be able to get through that Saria town, which possibly Bagoo required if you can't actually find the front side of Saria normally. So we'll be able to see the spell in Saria on Unos' side once he gets over there. Gives the lady a mirror. Toaster's peeking into Palace 1. Rose City fighting those red Dyras in the swamp. Shiner getting closer to finding that P-Bag in Hammer Cave. Unos has the mirror. Needs to take it to the lady. Needs her mirror. And he'll be getting the first spell while Rose City Saint gets to meet Bagoo. Reflect for Unos. That is a spell required to beat the game. So that's a good find. I imagine most people find it, especially if this pass-through in Saria is required. Okay. Yeah, that's a new area for the pass-through in Saria. We're probably south of the mountain range. Unos is going to find another spell here in Rauru. So just picking up all sorts of spells. Maybe this will be Thunder. Just, give everything. Or Fairy, maybe. Fire is combined, so if it's Fire, that wouldn't be a total loss. Shiner getting some XP there. Oh, it's Thunder! Ha! Okay then. Thunder and Reflect are our 2 free spells on the West Continent. That's pretty nice. That's very interesting. Rose City's getting Reflect. While Shiner meets Bagoo. So everyone kind of mirroring except for the 2 runners that kind of poked their heads in. Unos finds Heart Cave. So there's going to be an item for Unos here. Shiner's going to find the Magic Container in Magic Container Cave. Oh, Unos takes a death. But cleared out some enemies. And Toaster's going to find that cross in P1 and be like, great, the cross. I think Toaster might actually be trying to take out the boss too. No. Decides against. Unos gets the raft. Alright. Heart Cave had the raft. Required item to beat the game. Be interesting to see when Unos decides to sail. Still have some things to find here. Rose City gets Thunder. It's like, okay, Thunder and Reflect free. They're just going to keep exploring this trophy cave for Unos. Toaster meets Bagu. So Toaster's also going to go through that Saria passage. And a magic container in Trophy Cave. Alright, 6 magic containers. That's a good amount of magic right there. Even cast Thunder, just why not? Rose City Saint finds the jump cave, the top entrance, and also the grass tile. And the grass tile has a hammer for Rose City Saint. Haven't seen any hammer blocked. Oh, well, there's a hammer block caved on Unos' side. So the hammer does block one of these outside caves, in addition to Spectacle Rock and Death Mountain. And this palace is Stab Statue P2. So P1 and P2 are over here. Shatter gets a spell, Toaster's on his way also. Gets Reflect. And they're just kind of all exploring the overworld here. Shiner will likely be getting Thunder soon. Toaster, likewise, if they head for the town nearby. Oh, and Unos sees another palace. Might have already been inside that one. If so, I missed which one that was. Does get the hammer, so he knows there's that hammer-blocked cave. He'll be able to go up and check it. Rose City Saint also making his way over there. While Shiner is going to be picking up Thunder, followed by Toaster. There's Rudo. Need a trophy to get the spell on Rudo, and no one's found a trophy yet. Rose City Saint finds the other side of Death Mountain. Toaster's got Thunder. So for required spells, we're just missing Fairy. I mean, sure, the spell might be required, but... So we have 1, 2, and then 3 or 6 on the west. Can't identify which one that is yet. Kind of have to poke your head in a bit. Which Shiner is doing. Kind of looks like 3, if I had to guess. Which that would be something, having 1, 2, and 3 all here on the west continent. While Unos just wanders through some swamp. Rose City Saint finds the Peabag Cave, which we haven't seen. I think Unos is heading that way too. This might have been the cave blocked by a boulder. Didn't quite see. And Shiner's, ooh, takes out that one annoying guy. Sees Spectacle Rock, but can't find it. And Rose City Saint found something called a glove in Peabag Cave. Glove is pretty nice. Shiner's poking around in a P3. Well, without a key or some means of getting through the key door, can't really do anything in there. Other than kind of figure out the layout. I think Unos is on his way to finding that glove, maybe. Rose City Saint finds Trophy Cave, gonna find a magic container in there. So Medicine Cave is the cave that was blocked by a boulder. And Unos is diving into there. Toaster's going to be finding a raft shortly. Rose City Saint has not found the raft cave yet. I think that... yeah. Going to be finding that soon too. Unos is back at start. Gonna go into P1, it looks like. And Toaster gets the raft. 2 people able to sail. Rose City Saint also gets a raft. 3 people. And Shiner is also getting the raft. So 3 people getting the raft within moments of each other. But right now, Rose City has that glove, found the pea bag cave, and was able to go through and get that. So that's very important. Glove, almost certainly required. Can't say for certain, but P3, P6, filled with glove blocks. Grand Palace is tons of glove blocks in that palace. Enos is going to find a cross. Yay. Does pick it up. While Shiner gets the hammer. Which is a good find. It's nice to find the hammer before you find the cave blocked by the hammer. Alright, I think Enos is going to make his way to the East Continent once he finds that raft, the place to sail. Rose City Saint, going to be going through Medicine Cave. Finds the flute. Flute was in Medicine Cave. So I think probably someone else has that. I didn't catch that the first time. Too much going on. Oh, okay. Toaster finds the glove block in P2. Has not found the glove yet. There's just like a cave central over here once you get through that. I think Enos is looking for the raft tile, possibly. Shiner finds Jump Cave. Not really able to do anything in there without jump. And is also going to be going through this lovely cave. Now, I don't know who just got the hammer. Hammer. Toaster's in the cave that the glove's in. So Toaster's probably going to be picking up the glove soon. Rose City going back through the Saria to get back to that section of the overworld that has a ton of stuff in it. And Shiner gets the flute. And Enos is going to also be getting the flutes here shortly. Toaster is the one, I think, who hasn't found the grass tile yet. Rose City pops into 2, sees it's P2. Looking for that raft tile to start sailing. But where is it, is the question. Oh! It's up there. Are boots required? That would be something if you have to find Spectacle Rock in Death Mountain that has the boots to get to the raft tile. That would be a bit crazy. Enos gets his flute. Trying to think if there's any possibility of them getting to that tile some other way. So by the logic, palaces aren't required yet. You need to have either the magic key or the fairy spell in order for the palaces to be required. Because of the key doors and everything in it, the game just doesn't expect you to go into them. Rose City Saint is going through Fairy Cave, which might lead up to the raft tile, if the grave tile is up there. It is. Fairy Cave to get to Raft Tile. That's pretty crazy. And tons of towns over here, so Rose City Saint is going to start finding all sorts of new information. 6 magic containers is enough for that lady. And what is her item? A heart. Alright. Max is 6 hearts, starting with 3. Getting up to 4 is pretty good. It'll be interesting to see the next person to figure out that, oh yeah, you have to go through Fairy Cave to actually get to the raft tile. That's kind of annoying. I think Unos is looking for Spectacle Rock. Thinking boots might be required. And Unos hasn't found the glove either, as far as I'm aware. So our spell in New Kasuto for Rose City Saint. Jump. Well, jump gets you down stab. But otherwise, it just has that and gets you up stab. Can be useful in waffle rooms in Grand Palace. Not that thrilling a thing. Unos going back to exploring, trying to find that one cave I think he missed. Rose City Saint unable to check the spell item. Does not have that spell yet. Toaster is back there. Rose City Saint finds Darunia. I think might be getting upstab. Maybe. Not sure. And Shiner gets the glove. So Shiner's got that. Toaster finds dead end. Might be looking for keys. Finds a pea bag. 50, that's not great. Rose City Saint getting upstab. Why not? Toaster continuing to explore. Trying to figure out if he can actually get anywhere in this palace. Good old P2. And Rose City moves on. A P-Bag Cave for Rose City Saint, so there's going to be an item in here. Unos is in Death Mountain again? Yeah. Might be looking to get toward that Spectacle Rock. Shiner in P2. There's Toaster just left. Might have been key door blocked. I don't know that I saw what Rose City Saint got in there. I was looking at other streams. If it was totally dark, it was a red jar, but I think I tuned in just a little bit. P-Bag? Yeah, P-Bag and P-Bag Cave. Well, that's something. The 1 glove required room in 2 isn't being nice to Shiner. Is this even randomized? I'm not sure. Ooh. Those guys. Run away. Let's see if going through this glove blocked room gets Shiner anything of value. Well, casting Thunder. Enough for attack 4. Oh. That's a fun screen for Rose City. Just maces of doom and death everywhere. Shiner back to killing bubbles, because why not? you get them stunned, they can't do anything to you. But there's too many enemies on the screen for the drippers to be functioning. Looks like. It's running around Death Mountain. Always a fun time. Rose City Saint is benefiting from those random single tiles that have P-bags on them, getting a lot of experience. Yuno's trying to find his way to that Spectacle Rock, which just has 2 entrances to it, it looks like. So that's not great. And that's a pass-through for Rose City Saint. Not going to go through it yet. Does find Maze Island entrance, and there's also that one tile, desert. See if that's the item. It's totally not the item. It's a friendly little spot with a P-bag. Jump did come in handy there, so can't say jump did nothing for him. Toaster. Taking a bullet. Got 1 life. Oh, the boots for Yunos. Oh, wow. Boots were actually Spectacle Rock. That's crazy. Weren't required, but, boots might be required. Magic key for Rose City Saint. Palaces are on the table now. So Magic Key and Maze Island. I would not be surprised to see Rose City Saint just dive into whatever palace here is, and as long as it's not Grand Palace, taking it down. Not sure what Yunos is doing at the moment. And Rose City Saint finds the other item on Maze Island, and it is just an extra life. So, nothing thrilling there. Is Yunos using the Death Mountain pass-through? He is. Alright. Fair enough. If it's quicker, by all means. And just a lot of fighting, combat. Yunos finds a town. What is that town there? Doesn't peek in. Have we not seen Mito up until this point? That might be Mito then. Interesting. Because that town seems to be boots blocked. In which case, boots are required to get down stab. That's pretty crazy. Oh, Yunos is going to peek at this, and he's going to discover, oh yeah, that's Fairy Cave. He decides against. Maybe. Oh, P5 for Rose City Saint. P5, well, it's on Maze Island. Guess you kind of go in. P5, item is to the left, boss is to the right, and it's very mazy. Yunos is going to start picking up some stuff that Rose City saw earlier. Gonna be like, hey, a 4th heart. Shiner has found the item room in P2, except one issue. No key. So Toaster and Shiner have basically two options. They can go find Spectacle Rock, which has the boots, which lead to the raft tile, or they go through Fairy Cave, which happens to actually end up near the raft tile. Now, if boots are actually required, that's really good for Unos, since he's taken the time to find them. Rose City Saint, trying to find the boss of P5, has instead found the item room. The item room in P5 has the trophy. Okay. That's an item that exists. Has a spell behind it. The only spell we might potentially need is probably Fairy. Shiner dipping into P3. Unos. Not gonna get upstep. Yeah. I marked that Rose City Saint got the trophy. Unos is going through the P-Bag Cave to find a P-Bag. Oh, Shiner takes a lovely lava bath, as you do. This game likes its lava, especially in that one annoying room. Yeah, 500-point P-Bag for Unos. Rose City Saint is still going through P5, trying to find the path to Guma. Going immediately right didn't lead to it. Hey, magic means you can cast Thunder at some point. Now with the boots, can Unos do anything fancy here? He is walking around. There's this one cave blocked. It's just a pass through. Shiner trying to get through this without upstab. Oh, he's getting there. That's a nice block stabbing on Shiner's side. Toaster has sailed. Starts having fun on the East Continent with the others. Oh, and Shiner gave up on P3. Rose City Saint. There's Guma. Attack 4 Guma. 4 hearts Guma, and Guma says, take a mace. No, not this time. Unos is collecting P-Bags, getting that nice little East Continent experience that's free. Shiner going back into P1, it looks like. Oh, Guma just says, get out of here, get out of here. Guma hits hard. There's not much you can do about Guma. Just don't get hit. And without any shield or life or anything, Toaster takes that heart container. Can't be sad about that. Oh, Unos doesn't have the magic for a jump. Takes death. Now Unos does. Rose City Saint goes back to start with the magic key. He's probably going to try to knock out all these palaces in the west. Why not? Save P5 for later. And he got the trophy too, so if he gets to Rudo, he can trade that in for a possible good spell. Oh, Unos sees Maze Island and sees the Valley of Death entrance also up there. So Unos is on a path to finding that magic key. Except he decides against it for now. Doesn't want to go through that road. Wants to explore more of this. And there's another palace. Those boots are helping. This is going to be P6. Alright, desert tiles. Shiner getting blocked by a key door. Toaster did what he could in New Kasuto. Starts searching for those free items on the overworld. Key bag for Unos. Why not? And Shiner has found Horsehead. Takes him out. That is the first boss defeat we've gotten so far. Oh, he's not placing the gem, though. He's stealing the key. Interesting. That is an interesting choice. Rosy Saint is just kind of finding all the dead ends. Flute required? I haven't seen it yet. Is that something on Unos' side? Unos just used it. Well, he's gonna have to get out of this lava encounter, which is always fun. Oh dear. I mean, he's gonna have to find something required back here in order for Flute to be required. Rose City Saint does place the P1 gem. So Rose City Saint on the board with the gem placed. It's likely going to go and start placing more. Is there anything relevant where Unos is? Alright, Shiner does place the gem, so he's going to leave P1 as well. Rose City Saint, I guess, never found the item in P1. So, gonna go back in for it. So it appears. Toaster's still trying to find that. Well, no, he was over in the east. Guess he took the game over. Unos. What you gonna find, Unos? Second P-Bag Cave. The medicine for Unos. In the second P-Bag Cave. Well, that's an item that exists. Does it block Fairy? Who knows? Is Fairy even required? We don't really know. Of course, as far as I'm aware, Unos still never got that glove over in the west, so that's not good. Hey, water tile for Unos. See if there's anything cool there. A heart. So there's 5 hearts for Unos. He's found 5 of the 6. Oh, has 5 of the 6 heart containers available. Oh, Double Town. So these are going to be free spells. Nabaru and Old Kasuto. 2 free spells for Unos shortly. Rose City going toward the other palaces here in the west. Toaster going back through the fairy cave to get back to that raft tile. Shiner in Death Mountain. So Unos gets life. All you have to do is get some water for a lady to get the life spell. That's nice. Rose City's in P3. Be interesting to see if he hunts down the item in P3 or not. He's already found the one right side dead end. Toaster going through Saria. Unos gets fire. So fire is paired with something. Just don't know what. Fire is paired with fairy. Okay. So, in effect, Unos has fairy with fire. I mean, he doesn't have the fairy spell, but with fire being fairy, then he's good. Rose City Saint finds a magic container in P3. Needs to go find and beat the boss. Does not have downstab. So that'll be fun, fighting Rebanek without downstab. Shiner's going to try to find that Spectacle Rock, which has the boots, which have been helpful for Unos. If Shiner can navigate and find that one of the two pass-throughs that lead to the boulder, that's the trick. And Rose City Saint is going to fight Rebanek. Pretty low on resources, life-wise. Does not have shield, does not have life. Just takes an immediate death, saying, you know what, I'm not going to beat you with just that. Let's go in and fight him with full bar here. Lag for Toaster. Unos running around. Has fairy, just goes through the door. Well, has fire fairy, same difference. Good old no downstab strats for Rose City Saint on this Rebanek. Alright, gets rid of the horse. Now you just have to fight this guy. Can't just get in a corner. Oh, that didn't go so well. Those guys are deadly. There's a reason people don't like fighting them just naturally. Unless you can downstab them quickly to kill them. Shiner ups A's out of Death Mountain. Was running out of lives. While Unos is gonna fight that P1 boss. Has like no health, but goodbye Horsehead. Should you mark fairy? Since fire is fairy, go ahead. I mean, it's the same difference. It's not the fairy, but it's fire fairy, so he practically has it. Unos does. He found that in old Kasuto. I mean, he can cast fire to get fairy, so... It looks like Rose City Saint has backed away from trying to take out Rebanek without downstab. Or at least until he has like a life or shield spell. He does have the trophy. We don't know what Rudo has. It could be shield. But might just be going for more attack levels too, to make life easier. Can't see the drippers in that room. Too many sprites. Too much going on. Shiner poking into P2. Shiner's having the worst go of it, I think. Not having found the raft tile or the path to the raft tile. Getting a lot of levels though, so that just makes life easier. Toaster's back in the east, gonna continue exploring. Unos is in P3. Amazing Toaster's in the pea bag cave. I believe this is the one with the pea bag. Yep. Toaster gets the pea bag and pea bag cave. You know, it's just going through P3. Rose City Saint and Shiner both in P2. Shiner, unfortunately, does not have a means of dealing with key doors. Is taking out this guy. Oh, he wanders away. Did Shiner get a key somewhere? Oh, hello. That was the Dripper enemy, a 150 point Iron Knuckle. That's pretty good. Rose City Saint. Good old helmet head. The helmets are off, now just a little skull face. Oh, and do not touch the enemy. I think Unos got glove blocked, maybe. And this time, Rose City's probably going to take this guy out. Shiner just taking those blue guys on, just saying, get out of here, buddy. Oh, another glove block for Unos. That's not good. I think he's going to get down stab. And Rose City Saint places P2 gem. Yeah, Unos actually has the medicine too, so he's going to be able to get the spell. Not that I guess he might be hoping for the spell, because that gets an item. It's kind of a question of when is he going to go back and find that glove, since it does appear that P2 and I guess 3 require it. Well, not sure. Maybe the item is blocked in P2? Because Rose City Saint is back in here after beating the boss. Toaster, just getting more XP, as you do when you're on the East Continent. He's gonna poke into Maze Island, and if he continues, we'll find that magic key. Shiner sees the raft tile, and it's like, how do I get there? Magic key for Toaster. Palaces are now free and open for him. He'll likely continue on and find the other item that was on this Maze Island, which I think was just a little extra one-up, so eh. Shiner got the item in P2? Yeah. Yeah, Toaster's gonna find the second item on Maze Island. It's extra life. That's an item that exists. While Unos wanders in the east. I think Shiner's going back trying to find the pass-through to get to Spectacle Rock, one of those 2 magic caves. Which, it's going to have the boots, so that will help. Toaster charging forward toward the palace. A lot of pass-throughs on this Maze Island. I think Rose City Saint is finding all the dead ends. While trying to find the item here. Oh man, so many pass-throughs on Maze Island. And he's going to find P5 at the end of it. gonna go and... Wow, there were no encounters in that Death Valley. So P4 is in Death Valley. P4, that is something. Got Reflect, you can beat it. You can find the item. This lack of downstab for Rose City Saint. Downstab's so nice to have just to jump past things. And there is the item room in P2 for Rose City Saint. Toaster's diving into P1, looks like. Went back. Huh. Gets a red jar. And is going to see, hey, it's a child in P2. Okay. Which, it blocks a spell. Almost certainly not required. I think it's guaranteed not required based on all the information we have. And... Unos does find the item room in P4. Palace 4, what do you have for us? A heart. Just a heart in P4. So this has been quite the seed. Rose City Saint gonna trade in the child. See what spell that is. Likely hoping for shield at this point, or maybe fairy. Unos used the boots to get to the north side of the East Continent. So... don't know if that's required. Spell for Rose City Saint. That unlocks an item. Which we don't know what that item is. And back to start for Shiner. Not having any luck in that Death Mountain, trying to find the way to Spectacle Rock. I'm betting Rose City Saint's hoping for the boots. Unfortunately, they're behind some magic caves over there in Death Mountain. Well, Unos is hoping for a glove somewhere. Unfortunately, he left it behind in a cave on the west. Just one of those things where you circle around something and you miss it. A candle for Rose City Saint. That's what the spell gets you. A candle. Well, if he has to go into Death Mountain for the boots, he has a candle now. So that's something. Uno's trying to find the path to the boss just so he can leave this P4 behind. Stabbing a guy, because why not? Oh, Shiner finds it. Finds the pass-through, gets the boots. He's got to be happy about that. That the long Death Mountain journey is over. So he has some, that's a good item. Might be required. If Rose City Saint can't actually progress here on the East Continent without those boots, or if downstab is required, because as far as I'm aware, yeah, I'm pretty sure Mito is just totally boot blocked. And that's where you get downstab. Unos is taking on Karok. Sit in a corner, cast Reflect, and wait. Hope you don't die. I think Rose City Saint might be going to P4 as well. No? Decides against. Is trying to find his way possibly to the north. Gonna start taking pass-through caves, which might get him up there. Goodbye, Karok, for Unos. Okay. It's always fun when Path is actually Swamp. So I think... Yeah, he's north of the mountain range, so maybe that pass-through helped. Shiner gets to sail. Sees the grave tile. It's gotta wonder. Is that actually just Fairy Cave? It was. Toaster with the magic key with the gloves going into Palace 3. More 500 point P bags in the east for Rose City Saint. Does see a palace. That's Grand Palace, I believe. Unos is doing well. In Maze Island, so has gotten the magic key at this point. The magic key was just on the way, so... No, unless he... No? Yeah, he would have had to have gotten the magic key. Just gonna fairy feet through that. Gonna fairy feet through this. And there's another encounter. Can't fairy feet through all of them when there's 50 billion. Rose City Saint stocking up on lives in Grand Palace. See some towns. So once Rose City Saint gets fire, he's gonna have fairy. And Unos finds P5. While Toaster gets the magic container and P3. Yeah. So Rose City Saint might not know it if he hasn't cast it. Maybe he cast it. But yeah, Fire's Fairy. He probably cast it. Why wouldn't ya? Unos cast Fairy to get over those red guys. And the spell, gonna get some life spell for Rose City Saint here. Which, you know, that'll help versus Goomba at least, if nothing else. Shiner, gonna go for the upstab, but gonna go the old traditional route, I think. Just jump roof to roof. You're Santa. And trophy for Unos. That's an item that exists. Toaster. No downstab. Reaperneck. It's always fun. Getting a little low on life, and doesn't really have the safeties at the moment. Gets rid of the horse. Now you just have to take out this guy. Nope. Just gotta be careful. Shiner. Getting the spell for the kid. Toaster gonna give Reaperneck another try without downstab. While Yunos goes in for Guma fighting. Attack 4 Guma. He's got tons of life. Has the life spell. He's just going for it. Guma hits for over 2 bars though, so he's a little bit deadly. Toaster having his fight versus Rebo. He's got rid of the horse, but you can't really take a lot of hits. And that guy, he's crazy with the firing. I think Rose City Saint's going after him too. And Yunos takes down Guma. Nice fight. Oh, misses the key. Goodbye, Guma. So Rose City Saint has an advantage here with having that spell. He's able to get his life back. Well, Toaster just has to be careful. And Rose City Saint does take him down without downstab. And Toaster. Reaperneck wins. And bam. There's Reaperneck down for Rose City Saint. And Shiner finds a candle. Huzzah. That's your reward for diving Death Mountain. Now you have a candle. Well, it's totally unrelated, but hey. That's when the candle appears. So at this point, Rose City Saint is probably thinking, where in the world is Mito? Unfortunately, he's going to need boots for Mito. And he does not have boots. Yunos is going to try to ferry feet through all these 50 billion encounters, and he leaves Maze Island. Still searching for the glove, which unfortunately is in the west. Rose City Saint is heading back through Fairy Cave, so gotta start going to the East Continent, clearing out stuff. Shiner figures out, oh, this is Fairy Cave. That's what that tile was. So Toaster's gonna clear out this P2. Choosing a different path. P2 is quite mazy. And Shiner, having the boots, is able to walk around on the water, see all these fun little things. A lot of pass-through caves that are water-blocked, it looks like. Not having downstab is kind of hurting Rose City a little. Just because you want to downstab on those guys just to quickly get past them, but jump works. It's not ideal. Oh, the bubble's having none of Toaster. I think Rose City Saint's going to go to that Death Valley now. He's going to find P4 there. Shiner discovers, hey, Heart Cave is there. These people menu too quickly. So I'm pretty sure that was the kid for Toaster. Rose City Saint going through P4 now. Sin Palace 6. Ugh. Toaster getting some experience here for free. Wants that next level up. Gets it. Unos fighting a Reaperneck in Palace 6. What lies behind this Reaperneck? Barba? The item? Don't know. Maybe a dead end. But fighting a Reaperneck with downstab much quicker than fighting him without. Does get up to attack 5. That's nice. Item room for Rose City Saint and P4, which I believe is a heart container or magic container. It's a heart. So, I mean, it's an item. Unos just going through room after room here, trying to find the path. Gets the red jar. Shiner sees Death Valley. It's gonna walk on water and find Grand Palace instead. Oh, no, this is actually P6 here. Okay, Grand Palace was somewhere else. Unos finds Barba along that long, annoying path. He goes for the jackhammer, and the lava says hello. Be curious to see if he goes for jackhammer a second time. He does. Oh, and the lava gets him again. Shiner's going around, picking up free stuff. Third time's the charm for Unos. Yes. Whittles down that health quite a bit. Oh no! Oh no. That hurts. So, Unos going back in. He knows the path to him. Shiner's just exploring all this overworld here. Since Shiner has the boots, he's able to easily walk up here. And there's that River Devil just kind of sitting there saying, hey, I'm a River Devil. Now, I haven't been able to verify, but I'm pretty sure Toaster has the recorder and hammer. I think I'm going to go ahead and mark it because I'm pretty sure he got those at some point. These people menu way too quickly for me. You know, it's just saying, I don't care about any of you screens, I just want to go fight Barba again. Rose City Saint just taking a long path through 4, finding dead end after dead end. But does finally find Karok. Good ol' sit in a corner and wait. Shiner finds the second P-Bag cave over here in the east. Don't have too much fun with those bats. Okay. Got a little bit of... Oh! Lava didn't claim Unos, just hitting Barba did. And bam. Karok down, Rose City Saint, 4 gems placed. So that's nice. Jackhammer, jackhammer. Alright, Unos takes down Barba. Barba rewards him with garbage experience. So Unos gets to move on, unless he wants to try to find the item in P6. Toaster Helmet Head. Fight. And Helmet Head easily dispatched. No challenge at this point. Rose City Saint going toward that P5. Probably missed Toaster fighting Horsehead at some point. Enos is looking around here, trying to find... Okay. He found the exit to the palace. Probably thinking about what to do. Good old Thunder to get 10, 12 experience. Bit higher game audio would be nice. Don't think I can change that. Guma for Rose City Saint. With life, able to kind of recover after touching Guma a little. But Guma's healthy. So, it's by no means a free fight. I think Enos is trying to find that one cave he missed. Oh, I think he found it. And Guma goes down. Oh, Enos gets the glove. Hey, there we go. Got some sound here. Okay, what does Rose City Saint do now? Obviously, Fairy feet through as many of these encounters as possible. And Enos, with the glove, is going back to P2. He's going to start knocking out some of these places. What? Keeping the Zelda tunes to yourself. That's not cool. Spell, spell, spell for Toaster. All right. A lot of people walking around. Shiner going toward the dead end. Guess seeing what sort of stuff's on the ground in here. But has all those guys shooting him. Oh, it does get Thunder. Well, enough magic for that. Rose City Saint taking the long path out of Maze Island. You know, it's just powering through P2 at the moment. Saying, I'm done with this palace. Just give me Helmet Head so I can move on. Rose City Saint taking the pass through again to get to the northern side. Oh man. Toaster's heading back toward P5? I'm guessing Toaster never beat P5. Or is looking for the item of P5, which was free. I'm gonna questionably be... I never actually saw that. If he beat Goomba or not. He might have beat Goomba. I don't know. Too much going on at once. But I'm not sure why Toaster would be going back here if he didn't already beat Goomba. Because this is a long path. As far as I can recall, the item, if he went right, he stumbled across the item in P5 pretty quickly. Rose City Saint in Palace 6. Last one he needs to beat to place the gem. Shiner does find Rebanek. Jump. Interesting jump strats. Does take out the horse quickly. Now it just has to deal with this guy. Nope. Gives it another go. So Rose City Saint is on the path to Barba here. Because this is the path Unos took. Oh, and is Shiner gonna get it? Oh, Shiner takes down Rebanek. Very nice. Helmet Head for Unos. Hello, Helmet Head. What's up? Oh. Bye, Helmet Head. So Toaster beat Horsehead and not Goomba, I'm guessing. If I had to guess, that's what happened. Shiner's gonna go get down stab, it looks like. Unos is gonna go fight good old Rebanek in P3. No jackhammer strats, cause no down stab for Rose City Saint. Shiner's gonna be getting down stab. And Toaster finds the item. And there we go. So Rose City Saint gonna be headed to Grand Palace with no downstab. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting if downstab is actually required in Grand Palace, which it can be. Might not be though, in which case he's good. And Unos gonna be right on his trail. So Shiner has downstab now, which is nice. Now Shiner might have beat P2 and I missed it. Not sure. Yeah, here's Guma for Toaster. I didn't think he had beaten Guma, but... Oh, this is fun. This is fun. We're having a fun Grand Palace time here. Let me tell you. That's a fun room right there. Grand Palace just saying, hi, I hope you like these nonsense enemies. And Toaster with the Guma fights, gotta be careful. Guma hits hard, and you're already down to a bar. Yep. You got that right, Dataplet. Oh, hello, Fairy Room. So he's gonna go back and check the elevator. Yeah, this goes right, so better than Fairy Room, potentially. While Shiner's exploring around on the east. Takes out that guy nicely. Oh, and Guma says no to Toaster. The Eon drop. And Unos is entering Grand Palace as well. Unos has downstab. That's kind of the difference here. And Rosy Saint does take the Eon drop to find the L7 room. Have to go left. Oh, it loops into itself. So drop into a drop, that's fine. He can't downstab the block, so he has to actually manually go from the left. Oh, there you go, Shiner. You finally got that magic key. Keys have been kind of a trouble for Shiner this seed. So that's probably a welcome sign. Check Miss Room, elevator. He's going for the jar. 50-50, no. Unos goes into the fairy room, sees a waffle room to the south. And another right. So a lot of rights to the right of fairy room. That Guma does not want to go down at attack 4. And Shiner's going to be joining Toaster in P5 if eventually, maybe. Rosy Saint takes a drop and it goes to this room. That's a fun drop to take. Immediately goes right. It's either going to loop or be the way. To a waffle room. You know, it's in the Jackamus room. So interesting. He's finding the drops as well. So I think there's been a loop at some point to where two paths linked up. So I think he's right on Rose City Saint's heels here. Guma says no. Toaster thinks about it. Just gonna go back to start. Oh, and Thunderbird for Rose City Saint. He needs to die, he can't cast Thunder at the moment. So Unos is gonna be right behind Rose City Saint. Just has to get through this annoying room. Alright, attack 6 Thunderbird. And we saw drops before this point, so... I'm not sure how much the Grand Palace is going to be behind Thunderbird here. Enos does get through that first section of the waffle room. And goodbye, T-Bird. Nice knowing you. And T-Bird just leads you right into a drop. Interesting. It's the last drop. Unos going after T-Bird. And there you go. Force drop, then Dark Link. So... Oh. So one of our off-stream racers has sniped Rose City Saints. Kulain is done with 124.24. And Rose City Saint is done with a 124.44, first of our on-screen racers to finish. And Unos is not going to be far behind, barring the unforeseen. Oh, Shiner, just making quick work of that Guma. Guma is down for Shiner. Just get out of here, Guma. Unos versus Dark Link. Has no health. Doesn't matter. Stab, stab. Stab, stab, stab. No health, didn't matter. Unos is done. Official SRL time 125.13. So GG to RCS and Unos. Good times for this seed. Downstab not required, funnily enough. See if anyone wants to join us here as we watch Toaster and Shiner continue. Shiner making his way back out of Maze Island. Toaster going into a P-bag cave here. And Toaster goes... that was a pass-through cave, and it was a pass-through to a dead end if you don't have boots. That's unfortunate. I think we'll be getting an RCS at some point. I believe that we do have a Rose City Saint. GG.
Hey, thank you. That was kind of a challenging one, more challenging than the time would let on.
So, what do you think about what are your comments on that seed?
Oh, I have a few. First of all, if anyone noticed, I mean, I had a lengthy pause at the beginning of Palace 6. I had a very unfortunate controller die on me. I had to quick switch to a backup controller. So that, and I really thought I was doing incredibly terribly during the race. I finished just 20 seconds behind first place, but I make no excuses. I did not deserve first place at all. Kulain did. And yeah, so that was a little bit of a white knuckle moment. Other than that, I wasted too much time trying to find boots, hoping to get downstab, and eventually just said, never mind, I'll just go without it.
Yeah, I was wondering if downstab would end up being required somewhere, but no. If you're curious, boots were in Spectacle Rock.
And let me tell you, I happened to see that Spectacle Rock, and there's only one way in. I think, right, or two maybe? There were two ways
to it, yeah.
Yeah, so I saw the rock when I had the hammer, and I said, no way. And even knowing that the boots were in there, I wouldn't have attempted to dig them out. So, yeah, I stand by that decision. And if you saw also, I game over to 2 different bosses. That was part of my stellar play tonight, let me tell you. I just took on Guma when I had two little resources, and I thought I could do the Rebenek without the downstab with the low resources, but then it turned out that having the life spell made all the difference there for me, and I think I came back with another attack level too. So yeah, game over to 2 different bosses and had a controller die on me. This was a stressful one. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, a lot of people had trouble getting to the raft tile.
Yeah, that was a terrible raft tile.
Or just diving DM for the boots to get to it. So.
Yeah, that's one of my new pet peeves in Z2R is when the game does not offer you a shortcut between the start and the raft spot. And that was one of the worst ones that I've seen. I mean, I've seen a few worse, but this was really bad. It involved 2 mandatory pass-throughs.
Well, at least fire was fairy, right?
Yeah, and I'm really glad that it was. I don't remember if fairy was required or not, but I certainly leaned on fairy feet. Otherwise, I would still be in Maze Island. It seemed like there were 15 encounters between the start of Maze Island and where the palace was, especially without boots. So
yeah, I mean,
really
boots didn't help that much.
No, I fairy feeted maybe a dozen times. But what kind of made up for that was that the Valley of Death was free. There was no encounters there.
Yeah, that was an interesting Valley of Death. I was expecting at least 1 encounter, but no, just walk on through.
I do have to say that's the longest Valley of Death I've ever seen that featured 0 encounters.
Yeah, I've normally just seen the 0 encounters when it's basically right next to the opening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and maybe if there's a couple of tiles, that make up a path, but that was pretty lengthy to have no encounters. But like I said, the Maze Island more than made up for that. That was really bad. In fact, I went into Palace 5 just because of how terrible Maze Island was. I didn't even want to go in Palace 5. I kind of stumbled across the item, and then I said, well, let me see if I can get to Gooma. And I did. I reluctantly fought him. I got my butt kicked. And it was just because I came across the key there that I said, okay, rather than take a 10-minute hike back through Maze Island the long way, I'm just going to up an A and do a few things on the west. And I don't even know if that was the best strategy. I think if I'd taken the time to hike back out, I would have probably had a better time. But that was just, you make the decisions you make at the time for a reason. And I was just really reluctant to go back through that Maze Island.
Looks like Kulain might be joining us as well.
Very nice. GG, Kulain. Excellent job.
Or not. So right now we have Toaster, I think, in the second Keybag Cave on the east, while Shiner's going through P6.
I don't think I ever found this cave that Amazing Toaster is in.
Just out of medicine. Which Mito was boots blocked, and Toaster doesn't have the boots, so that's kind of not going to help him.
Yeah, kind of like when I dug the trophy out of, I don't know where it was. It was in a palace. Either two or 3, I don't remember.
Well, for Yunos, the issue was the glove. He overlooked or just kind of skipped over a P-Bag Cave, so he didn't have a glove for quite a while.
Oh, that's brutal because, yeah, that was kind of free. And, yeah, I noticed that the first 2 spells were Thunder and Fairy. I'm sorry, no,
Reflect,
Thunder and Reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Thunder and Reflect and Glove. And so, if the game just hands you Thunder, Reflect, and Glove for free, you are about to get trolled in some other way.
And that would be probably, if you want downstabs, you got to go to Spectacle Rock, and it's through one of 2
absolutely.
caves.
I have to say, I think I've raced this game now about 150 times, and this is the first time I can recall that I finished without downstab. I'm a big believer in downstab. Even if you have to backtrack for it, it really, it speeds up combat. So I don't recall a time I was ever, blocked out of downstab this badly.
Yeah, you had to work for that downstab. Shiner's on the way to Barba here. He'll eventually stumble upon him on this path. And I'm thinking he probably is beaten P2. It's just not marked on the tracker. I'm going to go ahead and give it to him.
speaking of stumbling through paths, I think I saved myself a lot of time and got very lucky and saved myself a few places in this race just by getting lucky in Palace 6 and GP. I took up slightly unconventional routes, different than I normally would, and they just paid off in spades. Otherwise, I'd still be racing.
Yeah, your GP was pretty friendly, as far as I can tell. I mean, waffle rooms are waffle rooms, but
yeah,
overall,
I went into the ferry room that offers 2 different paths at the end of that, and for whatever reason, I just decided to duck back and take the Eon drop, and that that led me on the right path. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be.
Shiner doing a little jackhammer on Barba. Hits him a bit.
One skill I've never mastered. I've played around with it, but during a race, I dare not do it.
It is fun. I've played around with it too. But
that's more a trick for the serious all keys runners. I was never an all key runner. I've never done that in my life. I'm a rando guy, born and raised.
That's kind of where I am, rando guy. That's what I do. Shiner doing a little more jackhammer, giving it another go. Since the lava claimed him the first time, as you do. And Barba is going down to attack 6 quite nicely.
I see no one has 6 hearts either. I think I only made it to 5, if I recall.
Enos did end up with 6.
Oh, did he? He got them all? Okay. And Shiner takes down Barba.
Now, if you ask me where all 6 of those things were, I have no idea, but...
I think I came across one of them was in P4, and that's all I remember. There may have been one other one early in one of the Western Continent item caves.
The water tile might have had one too.
That's a good possibility, especially if Unos had boots, which according to the tracker he did. So, yeah, I wouldn't know.
I think Shiner's off to GP if I've got all the gems placed correctly.
Excellent
Toaster's
levels, too.
7,
7, 8.
Yeah, he's got good levels. Or maybe he is going back to 2 if he didn't actually beat that at the time. Toaster is on the path to Barba.
I would love to blame some of my poor play when I game over to the bosses twice on my controller, but the controller was fine until my second fight with Goomba, the fight where I beat him. I started to notice it was going a little wonky, and by the time I made my way to 6, as soon as I went down that initial elevator, it wouldn't hardly even let me pause. So that was interesting. No excuses.
That's why you always have backup controllers.
I guess I didn't want to do like some of our guys and use a keyboard. That would I'm not that good. I wouldn't finish the race with a keyboard. Not with a game like this. At Final Fantasy maybe, but not something like this.
I wouldn't even want to attempt this with the keyboard. No. In off-screen, Zarnax has finished in 4th place, 137.15. GG to him. Toaster is handling this Reaper without downstab. Okay, Shiner never did do P2. Okay. I was thinking he would have with him being on the east clearing palaces, but I guess not.
That's
he
my
ran
biggest
into key issues.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thurwolf. That was my biggest regret. Was Palace 2. I found the boss relatively quickly. And just because I was obsessed with getting those boots, I went back and probably spent another solid 5 minutes digging the item out of P2. That it turned out to be the kid, and the kid was spell, and spell led to candle, so that was all useless. That would be my biggest regret. Was my decision to dig the item out of P2. That was a mistake.
Yeah, P2 seemed to want you to explore every room of it if you wanted to find both things.
And just as a fun fact that doesn't really relate to anything, I placed the gems in vanilla order, if anyone noticed.
Good old 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's it.
Toaster taking on Barba. No magic, low life, attack 4. So far, so good.
Just have to stay patient and careful with the resources he has now.
Yeah, no down stab, so Jackhammer's definitely off the table.
Did Unos go back for down stab, or did he nope out of that?
He got boots before he tried out Fairy Cave, so he did go to Mito and trade in the medicine in that and got down stab.
I see, thanks. Toaster holding strong so far.
Yeah. The life bar is dropping lower and lower. Just gotta be patient.
And Shiner, meanwhile, up in A's in P2. Looking to try another path.
Yeah, good old P2. What can you do? Just keep going. Back through this room over and over.
Yeah,
I think he went through this room like 4 times.
Yeah, I sure did. P2 is low-key terrible. It plays bigger than it is. The item is left, the boss is right, so oftentimes, if you feel the need to do a full clear, that's going to span a lot of rooms and a lot of time.
And Toaster gets him down. Very nice fight there. Toaster did have trouble with trying to get Reebanek and Guma down. With low resources. Hasn't had much luck yet.
It sounds familiar.
Gets an additional attack level. I think he's going for the item? Maybe looking for boots?
Do we know what the item in P6 is?
I have not seen it, so no one on stream has found it. They all found Barba following basically the same path.
I'll just take an off-the-cuff guess and say that's the last magic container.
Oh wow, Shiner, attack 7, helmet head. You're just gone. Barely existed. And with that, Shiner's going to be able to go to GP with some really high levels here. I'm guessing Toaster's looking for the boots.
That's probably a good guess. Even if you know that, you can access all the palaces, it's still an unsettling feeling not to have downstab, and so I don't blame anyone who is, looking to invest a little extra time in being able to get themselves downstab. It's a personal choice. I was investing time in getting boots as well, but at some point I just gave up on it. It all depends on your level of comfort in combat. Of course, you can run into there is a room that exists in GP that is downstab blocked that would force you to go out and come back with downstab, but that's pretty rare.
Well, the Desert Child was a 100-point P-bag through a cave. All right.
Yep, that's garbage. Especially at that point in the game. Like, I went all the way through Hammer Cave. I don't know if other guys did, but I got... there was a 500-point P-bag, but that early in the game, that was a pretty good find.
All 4 of the people on Restream went into Hammer Cave and got that.
Yeah, okay, that doesn't surprise me. The Hammer Cave was pretty easy to access.
Yeah, it was like right the first cave. Shiner putting those boots to work. Might not have seen Grand Palace yet. or just trying to find a quicker way to it.
Yeah, with the boots, I would be inclined to look for shortcuts. I will sometimes cost myself time by getting too smart for my own good and looking for shortcuts that are just not as good as the original path. That's, you know, that's one of the risks you run when you look for a shortcut.
Toaster's not having luck. Oh, misses the ferry. And we circle again. Shiner using his good old flute to get past that guy. Was flute required? Not sure.
I never used it.
You never used it? Okay. So there's
Nope.
probably a pass-through cave or something.
Actually, well, yeah, where he just came from, he just went up that path to flute through the River Devil. You don't have to use that path at all. If you go down, that path goes right and then up, and it leads you to the same area.
Oh, Shiner never got this. So he's getting some spells here. Doesn't have fairy, if I'm not mistaken. So he never got, there's life. And the town next door is going to have fire fairy. So, getting fairy, not bad. You never know when fairy's going to be needed.
That would really be unsettling to try to finish a seed without fairy and downstab. I mean, we saw Yunos do just so recently. He won a race. He played really, really well and finished a seed without jump, fairy, or downstab. So that's interesting, but that's not something that your average rando runner wants to attempt. You know, don't try this at home.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to try that. Unless there's like a Thunderbird not acquired free Dark Link type situation of brewing.
Yeah, and that's not what we ran into in that seed that I just described.
So Shiner might not know it, but he does have fairy at the moment. I don't think he's tried casting fire.
I hope he's aware that you can use fire to, you know, double as something else with this seed. Sometimes people aren't. When I don't see them test it right away, I think, you know, I wonder if they'd forgotten that flag was a thing.
Oh, and that's just the lovely greeting. Oh, and he casts it and he turns into a fairy. That's not going to help you there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
He's thinking about how he wants to approach that room. Jump, I think, would probably be the best method. Just ignore all that nonsense down there.
Absolutely. That is a nightmare room. The lag is unreal. Just jump. Slowly grind your way forward.
And Toaster taking the lava bath in that annoying room. Because, yeah, that room just is annoying. Oh, no. He does save himself the fairy that time. He does not have downstab, so he can't just downstab on those guys.
Yeah, you have to approach some rooms very differently without downstab. Like I said, it's an unsettling feeling. Like just some of the drop rooms in GP, they're covered with blocks, and you have to like approach them from the side and some very odd angles. That's different.
Shiner is going to go through fairy room. Gotta pick up the fairy too. Why not?
I'm curious to see what's through here. This is where Meadow would suggest I should have kept going, but I just had a hunch and took the Eon drop.
Well, we'll see. I know one of the paths in fairy room does kind of loop up back toward the Jackamus room. Because you know, took fairy room.
That's very possible, yeah, that all paths might possibly still converge, too. This could be a shortcut or an equally distant path, who knows?
Shiner going for that 7,000 experience. Or just a jar. Probably a jar. That's a nice, lovely welcome committee to that room. Yeah, Toaster's having trouble in this P6 trying to find the item. Oh! Your reward is a dead end for Shiner. But there's an elevator. Oh, Toaster has found the path to the item in P6. We'll see if it is indeed the last magic container. And Shiner's reward is the second dead end there. Down from Fairy Room, not the path. Nice down stepless fights. Just gotta take out this Rebanek. Gotta be a little careful.
That is crazy how when you give him that jump and crouch stab to get him off the horse, how far it slingshots you in the air.
And there you go. Match container number 8.
Yeah, as predicted.
Toaster's just sitting at 4 hearts, too. Shiner is going to take the path you took now, looks like. Gonna go up and avoid Fairy Room. So some drops are in Shiner's future. Good old L7 looping.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, you take the Eon drop and then that brings you to the L7.
Just dives right on in, doesn't even want to look to the right.
That happens to be the right play here. That's not always that's considered a risky play, but he'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much deviation from this. There might be one different way to go, like left here, but you're not going to do that. And
he'll use the luxury of downstab to get through these blocks, while the rest of us chipped away block by block from the side.
Yeah, that was fun. He's gonna go to the right. Didn't like the look of that elevator. Toaster is back into 3. Okay, that works. Avoids the angry red guys. He's gonna be finding himself a Thunderbird. Some point. I think there was a waffle room he had to get through after this.
That sounds right. I don't exactly remember, though.
Oh, the red guys do go down when you have attack 7. Oh, Shiner killing some more bubbles. You know, why not? Attack 7, they go down pretty quick. Toaster, Rebanek, no downstab.
With those resources, though, he should be fine.
Oh, that guy shooting his fireball beams. Shiner does make it to T-Bird. And Toaster's just needs this guy to stay on screen so he can kill him. Shiner takes a death, get that magic refilled.
Oh, very nice screen name there from Shiner. Going with file name, help me.
There is no help in Zelda 2 Randomizer.
No.
there's only pain.
This game makes you feel alone in the wilderness, but I want to stress for anyone who's watched it a few times and thinks it looks fun to play, it is very fun to play. It's not as intimidating as it might seem at times. It's worth a try for sure. You can ratchet up or down the level of difficulty at your leisure. So if you think it looks fun, give it a try.
And Shiner just took out T-Bird. Didn't even want to bother with all that pendulum nonsense. Just kind of sit there in the middle, take him out.
Yep, another AK strat.
And he's going to be falling, finding this room. Dark Link off to the right. Unfortunately, there's nothing there. It's going to go deeper. And yeah, nothing there. Toaster is sailing to the east. Just needs to go Maze Island, Death Valley.
I hope this isn't Shiner's last life. I wasn't paying too close of attention to that, but I don't think it is.
I don't think so either. He died once to T-Bird, but other than that, he's good. He had that one up A after finding 2 dead ends that refreshed him. Yeah, attack 7 doesn't matter against Dark Link. And now he's full life, full magic. Just needs to take him out. Good old get in the left side of the screen strats. No better way, as far as I'm aware, of fighting this guy.
Yeah, you don't get extra points for fighting him like a man. Just do the crouch stab and hit the dot done.
And takes him out. He is finished. SRL time, hour 55:45, sub 2. 5th place overall. 3rd of our restreamed.
And a good game to him. Maybe possibly rusty at Rando. Haven't seen him around in too many of our races recently, but a good effort from him.
Yeah, the start was a little bit slow just because of that whole raft tile business, and he's dug out the boots, so yeah, that's going to take time. But other than that, just good play.
Yeah, I agree. He displayed some real skill there.
Toaster going back. Gotta find Karak. I don't think he spent any time in P4 before. I think he avoided this and went deep into that maze island and didn't want to walk out of it, which who can blame him?
Yeah, that was the trap I fell into too. It sounds like other people did as well. That was just an incredibly inconvenient path. Usually there's something, that you can hang your head on in Maze Island, but that was not it. You had to go through practically every tile and both item encounters on your way to the palace.
Yeah, that Maze Island path was about as unfriendly as it gets, I guess. It could have been worse, I guess, but that was bad.
Well, it was good news that both of the items were on the way. Like, that is good that you're going to find the items, but it's really bad when you're looking to just traverse back and forth the 2 extra times, as I needed to anyway. And, that's just extra time to waste falling through the caves and walking out,
Yeah, the unfortunate thing, it was P5 there. And I think we have Shiner joining us. GG, Shiner.
Hey, thanks.
What do you think about the seed?
Soon after starting the seed, I said out loud, more than once, I think this is the worst world map I've ever seen for a seed. And, were boots actually required? I realized later that, hey, wait, you could find the cave that connects to that, tomb tile and maybe get there that way, but I never found out which cave connects to that one.
Yeah, Rose City didn't get the boots, so not required. It helped.
Yeah, there was the boulder blocked cave somewhat near the raft tile. There was a cave just around the corner from that would bring you to that grave tile.
Oh, okay. Well, boots were in Death Mountain under the boulder, and I went and got them in the dark. It was actually surprisingly easy to get there. It took a few tries to figure out the right way to go.
My question was going to be, how long did it take you to get to that spectacle rock? Because there was only 2 ways in, but it sounds like you came across it pretty quickly.
Not that quickly, but theoretically you could get there quickly. It was
Yeah,
like I tried so many tunnels, but it was actually one of the first caves that you have access to when you go to Death Mountain, like the front way, I would call it.
You just had to pick that one magic cave, and then you were good.
Yeah, exactly. So it took me about, like, almost an hour to break the seed open. I found everything on the West Continent. I don't think I even completed a palace. Yeah, I didn't complete a palace, I don't think. No, I did go back and do Palace 1. I also leveled magic up to 4 real quick, but still couldn't even use Thunder until I got my magic containers up to 6. That was a little disappointing. Thunder didn't even seem that strong either. That was disappointing. Yeah, I finished with 7, 8, 8 for levels, because I got to the palaces so late.
Yeah, those levels help to just make quick work of some of those bosses, though. And they're kind of paper once you get up to there.
I don't know. Attack scaling was really weird, too, because like I felt like my sword was just really ineffectual until I got Attack 5. Like, there was a huge jump between Attack 4 and 5, at least on overworld enemies. But then taking on the bosses of the like palaces 5 and 6, the sword didn't do a lot against them, so they had a lot of health. That was the fight versus Boss Guma was really scary actually, because I just went in there like going full aggressive, and then I noticed, oh, this guy's a lot of health. Oh, he two-shots me. Okay.
Yeah, that was Guma being Guma.
I had a lot of
health,
experience.
It's like a truck.
Like I had to beat that guy in my last life or lose 2 levels, so luckily I pulled it off, even after taking 1 hit. Yeah, I'm also really surprised I finished 5th. I finished like halfway in front of all these other runners. I feel like I wasted a ton of time and fell prey to my usual bad habits of killing way too many things. There were a lot of really silly deaths. I never found out what was in the like the up and down cave on Eastern Continent, the one P-bag cave where you gotta go up and down some stairs, because I died while I was killing things for no reason.
Let's see. That would be the medicine was in that one cave, which, yeah, not required at all.
Which would have got me the shield spell or the fairy spell, which I really didn't need, because with Magic 8, life cost only 28, so that was probably good for health resources there. I did go and see what those 2 spells were in the last 2 towns while I was looking for Great Palace, just because I did want to find either life or shield. Because this is my first time like running a seed where I started with less than 4 hearts, and also only had 4 hearts by the end. Like Life 8 seemed to make a really big difference, which was nice, but that was a little bit intimidating, I guess, to have so little health to work with.
You're welcome.
So does that mean you're interested in joining the random, max rando tourney where, you know, it could be 1 heart container?
Well, I like tournaments. I never do well in them, but I just love participating, so I probably will sign up.
And Toaster is going back to Guma through these 50,000 encounters on Maze Island.
Oh, Toaster's one of the people still on the restream?
Yep, he's the last one on the restream going.
Oh, I thought I would be the last one. Well, I wasn't really sure who was on there, but I just assumed I would be the last one still going.
No, he's had some problems. He doesn't have boots, so he never got downstab. Fought some Guma and Rebanek with kind of low resources and wasn't able to take him out the first times. So he's had some back and forthing. Basically, you and he were both struggling to get toward that raft tile. You eventually got the boots. He eventually went through that one cave, fairy cave, to get there.
Yeah, it never occurred to me to go that way, because you couldn't see the grave tile from the other side either, like in the northeast corner of the map.
And to answer Zarnax, the grave tile near the raft tile was fairy cave, so if you went in from the backside, you just reached it. That's what half of our people did.
Well, I just signed up for the Max Rando tourney. I'll be looking forward to that.
All right. It's going to be like, start with 8 heart containers, every free spell. Grand Palace will be next to start. It'll be fine.
Yeah, 0 gems required. You can just walk into Great Palace.
Darklink will be 2 rooms in. It's fine. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Darklink might be pretty hard to beat at 1-1-1. He actually took me out at the end of my run there. I couldn't believe that. He was on point tonight.
Don't really matter.
He scored hits on me. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Darklink sometimes is friendly. Sometimes he just wants to jump all over you and be rude that way.
I thought I reacted in time. If he jumps on you, you just neutral jump, and you should be okay, but I still got tickled. Darklink was trying hard.
Toaster is going in for some Gooma revenge. Gonna take out Gooma.
Gooma Part 2. Very nice. Me too.
How many crystals does Toaster still need?
Just this one. He just needs to take out Gooma, and then it's off to GP. But she doesn't have boots, so he's gonna have to start hopping through some caves.
You don't need boots to get to Great Palace, I don't think. But I think you need the plunger.
I'm pretty sure just to get to the River Devil with the plunger, you have to take a pass-through cave to get north of the initial mountain range. Toaster getting some good hits in on Gooma. Start working down that health.
Anyway, I'm gonna take my leave of you guys. I'm gonna keep streaming, but I'll be switching games. Good luck to Amazing
Shiner.
Toaster. Yeah, it was an amusing seed. I did enjoy it, actually. Well, I enjoy every seed, even ones where you gotta go all the way through Death Mountain for 2 items in the dark.
Well, that's just a good time right there.
For sure. So yeah, good luck to Amazing Toaster and the other runners still in it. And I guess I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to take my leave as well, but thank you, Thurwolf, for the commentary. Appreciate it. And GG, Shiner. Good to see you around.
Yeah, GG's, Rose.
Appreciate
GG,
it.
Bro City. All right. Toaster just making his way through the 50 billion encounters on Maze Island to get back. Still probably quicker than going through Saria and all that nonsense on the west. Oh, it does do a fairy feat to get past that one. That was good. Yeah, so flute not required. But flute was free, so... And Toaster's levels are looking fine. He should have no problem with Grand Palace. As long as he follows... Well, we'll see if he takes that fairy room. Because that does lead to some dead ends if you go that path. Having some trouble with the fairy feet. Just gotta get right, there you go. Now off into a cave he goes. This cave. Never found the candle from the spell. Doesn't really matter. And so he is gonna avoid the River Devil and just walk it. And path is not safe. And it just has those. That's not bad. So where's Grand Palace? Just kind of walk around. I think you have to go right and then up. Because this was P6, gonna get his magic back. Good move. Get fairy through stuff. Do the long swamp. I think pretty much everybody got at least 4 spells. You got the 2 free ones in the west, and then the Naburu and Old Kasuto thing for fire and that spell. No, I think everyone had like 5 at least spells. Because basically all the spells in the East Continent were kind of free. West Continent, I don't think anyone traded in trophy. And not very many people got the medicine and traded that in. Oh, Zarnax never checked those 2 towns then. Never got fairy. Or fire fairy as it was. No, fairy not required. Now it's decision time for Toaster. He's got the north, he's got the east. He's gonna see a happy little fairy room. He's gonna go for it, looks like. So if he goes down, he's gonna be a little sad. Because that was a path Shiner took. If he goes up, which he's doing, this might be better. Because I want to say this is the path Unos took. And this is going to loop back to where Rose City Saint eventually ended up. Elevator, we got an up, we got a right. Got a dead end. Does this up go into the Jackamus room? Goes into the elevator. It goes into the elevator. That goes into Jackamus room. So he's synced up paths with the other way. No magic, so he's gonna have to upstab his way. No problem. So this is the room with the jar. The potential jar, I should say. 50-50 chance, and he finds enemy. Off-screen, Nightcrawler is finished in 6 with a 2:11:47. GG's to Nightcrawler. And Toaster has found this friendly room. Alright, it's not friendly at all. It wants you dead. And that guy's just, he's chasing. It's like, don't leave me alone, man. Toaster's like, get away. Uh-oh. That guy's gonna shoot a fireball, and that guy's coming. It's all just kind of converging. Oh, if he had down stab. Almost made it through. Alright. Now he should be able to get through. Magic-wise, though, he kind of got drained. Which, that's kind of unfortunate. Get out of my waffle, buddy. And now he's going to find Thunderbird when he doesn't have magic. As you do. So he's going to have to take a death here. Alright. No lives. Gotta take him out. Got 8 magic containers, though. So that's nice. Alright, he's going for the good old pendulum strats. Smacking Thunderbird a little bit. Thunderbird's not playing nicely with his fireballs, though. Has to reset the pendulum. He's got it. Stab, stab, stab. Very nice. Thunderbird does hurt. Reflect coming into play, and goodbye, Thunderbird. Alright, so now just a couple rooms. Gotta take the drop. Yeah, the redbirds are converging. Takes the drop. Hello, Bubble. Bubble doing bubble things, getting in the way. And here's Dark Link. Is Dark Link gonna play nicely? And 8 hits on Dark Link to take him out. Doesn't matter what your attack level is, just stab him 8 times. Dark Link is being kind. And Amazing Toaster is done with an official SRL time of 2:16:06. GG, Amazing Toaster. Quite a seed. No downstab. Hey, I think we have Toaster with us. GG's. What did you think about that fun seed?
Holy crap, I played that so badly.
So are you curious where the boots
Yeah,
were?
where were the boots?
Spectacle Rock.
Okay.
So you had to take the magic cave. There were 2 of them out there to get the boots that led to Mito that had downstab.
Yeah. I figured I got that far, was like, finish without it.
Yeah. Rebanek without downstab, sure, why not?
Just 3
of them.
times.
Yeah. How did you like that Maze Island?
Oh my, holy crap, that was quite the trek. I finally remembered on the way back out the last time that I had fairy through fire, so I could fairy feet through some of that.
Yeah, you just had like 50 million encounters on the way. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure just about all of them. Maybe there was one encounter that was not on the path to the palace.
other than that, I think a lot of it was that first beginning part of the seed trying to get to the raft tile.
Yeah, getting to the raft tile was quite the experience as well. And I kept coming up short getting to attack 3 in the early game, so that cost me a bunch of time too.
Yeah, it seemed like the earlier attack levels weren't really good at all.
No, it finally got good about attack 5 maybe.
Yeah, that's what others have been saying. Attack 5 is where it was kind of okay, at least.
Yeah. So that was a game.
Yeah, GG's. Is this your first one finishing without downstab at all?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've done some rebos without downstab before, so that's not something that's completely new to me.
All right, any final comments before we wrap up?
I just let me not have let me have a non-downstabless seed again, not for a long time.
Oh, I hear that. I'm kind of happy I didn't play this. Next time, commentate, Toaster. It's better.
Oh, okay. I'll think about it.
And I think we're going to be hosting Pokemon on Randomania 2. Not quite sure what's going on, but might be one of those Cinco tournaments. I don't know. We'll find out.
All right.
Thanks everybody for watching. Enjoy your night. This is Theorwolf. GG's to all our runners.